Tonight's topic of conversation is God and Gnosis. And this has been a topic that's been in my mind for quite some time now, because I know that some people have an allergy to the word God, like they contract when they hear it. And for good reason, because there's all this conditioning around the idea of God, what it means, who he is. And because of the conditioning, because of the limitations placed on this infinite being, this infinite consciousness, people don't want to relate to it. They don't want to hear about it. So my interest is in taking back this word, that it may be used to describe the undescribable, the indescribable, the ineffable, that which is beyond the beyond, right? Because how can you define that which is undefinable? That's the challenge of being in this world and in this body, is we're trying to achieve a higher state of consciousness through this very limited material world. And so we have to work with these limitations, but at the same time, to be careful not to put that which is so expanded in consciousness into a dogmatic box. And I know it quite well because I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and I'd sit there and be like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't really resonate with this information. And I don't really connect with this version of God that you're talking about. And so I sat there and I paid attention, and I knew when I was 18, I'd be free of all this because I'd be emancipated, right? 18 years old, you're good to go. And sure enough, at 18, I said to my father, I won't be going to church anymore with y'alls. Just not going to go. And he said, what, I send you to college and you don't believe in God anymore? And I said, oh, no, I believe in God. I just don't believe in this religion and what they're telling us. It doesn't really resonate. It's too limiting. And somehow he understood that. He got it. And so here we are in this world looking for ways to reconnect to that which is our source, right? Is the source of all of creation. We're looking to find that place inside of us to plug in, because it's not outside of us. This world is all about, disconnecting us, keeping us distracted, keeping us in a machine, right? The machine of Maya, keeping us, on this treadmill of unconsciousness. And so it's up to us to unplug from the horizontal plane, from the third dimensional world of illusion, right? The temporary reality, and to plug into the vertical current, source, higher consciousness. Because how do you navigate the illusion without guidance, without support, without a higher mind? How do you realize anything beyond this world if you don't unplug from this world? But if you unplug from this world, then who am I? Who am I if I'm not this body, this personality, this name, this title, this job, this gender, right? Who am I if I'm not all these things? And I can't be all these things because they're temporary. One day, none of these things will be here. So why am I going to put so much time and energy into these things if ultimately none of it is coming with me? What we cultivate internally does come with us. Our connection to source does come with us. And the whole goal of life is to be able to be in the illusion and realize the truth with a capital T. To be in this world of Maya, but to somehow be a bridge to source and the truth. This way, that higher consciousness comes through us. First and foremost, as teaching us, guiding us how to be in this world, right? Teaching us how to be empty that we may be filled, empty of the illusion, that we may be filled with the truth, right? Because you can't be filled with illusion, with all these, limiting thoughts and beliefs and programs. You can't be both filled with that as well as higher consciousness. But as we learn, like in the meditation, as we learn to dissolve the mind and all of its limiting thoughts, then higher consciousness descends. We actually transcend as higher consciousness descends. We're transcending in the body. We're raising the vibration of the body. That's what transcending this world means. It doesn't mean leaving the body. It means raising the vibration of the body from a dense, third-dimensional, fear-based, limiting entity, limiting personality, to a higher frequency, soul, love-based entity. So the more we drop the illusion, the more we increase our frequency, the more we rise in frequency, and the more we connect to source. And then we become the bridge. We become the bridge to higher consciousness. That's the goal, that source can now move through us, through the space, through the emptiness. So the personality has this challenge with emptiness because it's afraid of dying. Who will I be if I am not this? And the answer is, you'll be all and everything. You'll be united. You'll be back in oneness. So, connecting back to source, reclaiming source, God, higher consciousness, whatever it is you want to call it, having these words be reclaimed, that we may then speak in this world, create in this world higher consciousness. And from us, we take these limited words and we transmit the infinite. We somehow are able to take the limitation and transcend it. And then that's the game won, right? The game of life. You win at the game of life because you've taken all and everything of this world and you've alchemized it. You've transmuted it with your own consciousness. You don't resist it. You don't fight it. You don't go against it. You simply accept it all. And then in accepting it, you transmute the shadow internally. You dissolve it. You consume it. You burn it. These are all alchemical terms that we need to understand so that we learn every time we contract, we're losing energy, we're losing vital force. Every time we resist, we are perpetuating the illusion in the world. We are fostering that which we actually don't want to experience. So we use all these various tools to support ourselves in healing, in becoming whole, so that the external world begins to reflect your internal state of wholeness. Because the outside world, as I've said so many times, is simply our own movie screen that we project upon. So if we want to see a different movie, if you want to experience a different experience, we have to shift something internally to accommodate the experience we want to experience. If we want a partnership and we have a list of qualities that we'd like to experience in that partner, we first have to become those qualities. We first have to embody those things that we wish to see in someone else. Then when we embody it, we simply attract those qualities to us. Individuals, community, lovers, whatever it is. We attract to us all the inner work that we've done all the inner balancing that we've done. And how we know that we've accomplished this alchemy, is because we find ourselves not reacting in the world external. We find ourselves accepting of all and everything exactly as it is. Why is that so important? Because it's all God's creation. Everything is God. There's nothing that is not God. So if it's all God, what is there to fight? If it's all God, what is there to resist? So what I like to do whenever something isn't going the way I like it, I always say, what shall we do about this? I never go into the collapse anymore. I just notice what's happening. And I say, what shall we do about this experience? Say I have some sort of dis-ease that I'm experiencing. I just say, what shall we do about this? And I wait. I wait for the guidance to come. I don't contract, because the contraction doesn't allow for the guidance to come through. I commune. Instead of contracting, I commune. What shall we do about this, God? How shall we take care of this situation? Any insights would be great. Because I'm one, right? I'm one with Source. This body is of Source. So why would the information not arise? Of course it's going to arise. But we have to practice this. We have to always resist the contraction, resist the projection, pull back all our projections, pull back all our energy. If it's in the past, pull it back from the past. If it's in the future, pull it back from the future. Whatever it is that's not allowing us to be present, we pull all the energy back until we're present, and then we commune. What shall we do about this? How shall we go about that? And what that is, it's the opening, it's the receptivity to receiving guidance and saying, I don't know anything here. I don't have the answers. My mind always goes to the same place. So, what insights can you give me? What insights can you provide? What intuitive information can you present to me? And then you wait. You wait, you watch, you be patient. You listen for the cues. You listen for the guidance. So maybe it comes in words, maybe it comes in sensations, intuitive hits, whatever it is. But this is what we're cultivating. We're cultivating the connection internally to Source, the central channel, plugging into the vertical current, always pulling our energy back into our system, and then communing. And it can take some time if you have so much of your energy cords going out into the external world, right? It can take a lot of time to pull back those cords, to forgive, to let go, to surrender, to forgive yourself, to not feel like a victim in the world. And so step by step, we use the witness to observe ourself and our patterns, to support us in seeing these patterns and then dissolving them. And this all leads to gnosis, to an inner knowing and an inner understanding of what our purpose is in this world. So the more empty we become, the more we collect all of our energies from the world, the more we are in ourselves, the more space there is for wisdom to unfold within the emptiness, within our minds that are now bloomed, open, receptive, not contracted with all the dogma of the world, the educational system, the propaganda, whatever it is. There's no room in a mind that is so closed for infinite intelligence. And so we cultivate the emptiness. We allow ourselves to receive. We do the inner work each day. And then one day you find you've arrived at this place of emptiness. It's a celebration to be there. Because then you walk in the world just curious, intrigued by everything, in awe of nature and how perfect nature is. Like you just notice all the subtleties and everything is fascinating, like the mind of a child, just open, empty, and curious. And then the spiritual insights and information are downloaded into this space. So yeah, our job is to spiritualize matter and materialize spirit. To spiritualize matter and to materialize spirit, to be the bridge between God and this world. And then more and more, as each one of us do it, we transform the pain and suffering in this world to heaven on earth. We generate heaven on earth through our presence, through our radiation. And you can just imagine this. Imagine if everybody was living in this world with an open heart, just generous and kind and loving, forgiving, supportive. The world would change like that. And so we are looking for that critical mass so that we can transform this world, because it's moving in that direction anyway. And so it behooves each one of us to practice these practices. Pulling our energy in, sitting in the emptiness, following our breath, observing the mind, not feeding it, just observing it, not fighting it, just observing it. Anything we fight, anything we feed, we perpetuate. So instead, we always cultivate the observer, the master witness, who takes this whole world and transforms it into heaven on earth.